joining me on this, this little chat. It's just to, just to get your experience with obviously New Age Advisor. I know you've been with us for is it about 6 months or
I think so,
months?
yeah. Maybe a bit longer than that. Might
Is
be
it?
8, 9 months, something like that.
Yeah. Just to really just ask you a few questions about your experience and what you thought of it and how
Okay.
you got on with the process and maybe what life is like for you since you joined. So
Absolutely. Yeah, far away.
appreciate it. So yeah, well, the first question is kind of what was life like for you before you obviously signed up to the program in terms of obviously the main kind of outcome of what we do is lead generation. So what were you doing in terms of your lead gen and your business generally, and how was life generally for you before you signed up, Amanda?
Um, it was chaotic.
Yeah,
I I had no idea what I was doing, really. I mean, I read a bit about, social media and I've been on LinkedIn, although with my previous career, I had a lot of contact. When I stopped that career, I deleted my entire membership of LinkedIn, which is probably a mistake in hindsight, but anyway, there you go. And I had no idea. So I did a bit on LinkedIn. I did a bit on Instagram. I did a bit on Facebook and joined, local community groups with my business
yeah,
page. But it was really hit or miss. I got nothing from Instagram, nothing from Facebook, apart from some inquiries that didn't go anywhere. And they certainly weren't my target audience, and they weren't people that I could didn't necessarily have um, the right level of support for them. So I tend to deal with higher net worth individuals, more complex income cases. I'm not so hot on things like debt consolidation, not debt consolidation, poor credit, impaired credit.
right,
I do it, but it's not my specialism. So I have no idea of how to specialize in finding, my type of
right.
client.
Yeah, yeah. I think it just makes things so much easier when you can just attract the
Yeah.
right people. Because I think most people are just going for whatever comes their way, and they're kind of scattered because you're dealing with different inquiries, different customer profiles, different scenarios, and it's just
Yeah.
like, wow, where do I? And you're not, yeah. But when you are specific and you're going after that one specific customer profile, you get to learn exactly what they need, and you're dealing with that same.
Exactly.
But just going back, what were you doing before you took in your past kind of
Oh, donkeys years ago, I was in human resources.
right? And that was that was before you were doing this in terms of the
Yeah, so I had a bit of a career gap.
yeah,
I was ill, took some time off with a very young family, and then got into financial services and eventually specialized in mortgages about 10, 12 years ago, something like that.
yeah,
And I've been doing mortgages ever since.
cool. Um, yeah. So the next question really is like obviously since you signed up, like you said, it's 6 or 8 months. How would you find the actual process that you've been through with us in terms of obviously what is the first thing is establishing your ideal client, which obviously you touched on in the past. But how have you found the process and the support and yeah, how's your experience been with it since you kind of signed up with us, Amanda?
I won't lie, it was quite daunting initially, partly because although I'd done some diligence, I'd spoken to other people who used your services and couldn't speak more highly of you and the team. Um, I suppose I lacked confidence a bit
Yeah.
in could it work for me?
Yeah.
Kept thinking, am I too old? Is my client profile wrong? So I just, in the end, decided I just would go with it and throw myself all in.
Yeah.
And
Uh, uh,
I've just put the work in. So I didn't always necessarily understand what I was doing initially.
yeah.
And I'm still not massively tech savvy. But I don't need to know that because you guys have done the work for.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I think that's the mindset to have. I think a learning mindset you need to be, like vulnerable in a way and push yourself
Yeah.
into situations that you don't feel comfortable in, but yeah, you work it out by doing that. If you
Yeah,
don't, you have that apprehension and you don't end up pushing yourself, you're never going to learn anything new, are you?
exactly. And I've always been, I've always wanted to go forwards in life. I don't want to just sit and wonder what life is like if I did something. I'd rather throw myself at it, find
Yeah.
out I might fail, but in
Exactly.
this
Yeah.
instance, I haven't
Yeah.
failed. And it's given me a lot, not just in practical terms, it's given me a lot of confidence as well in what I do, my skills, and the quality of my advice to my clients.
Yeah. Again, I think that plays into the fact of being selective who you're working with. The advice
Absolutely.
given when you become a specialist and giving that advice to, because your niche is investment bankers. Is that
Yeah,
still
yeah, sort of
okay?
finance people, investment banking.
Yeah. So you get to learn exactly what you need to give them to get them where they need to be. And that makes
Yeah,
you more efficient. And the upshot of that is you're providing a better service because you're specializing in them. So you in that specific area. So you're giving them a lot better service and your advice is a lot more tailored and a lot more valuable to that market.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, and yeah, so obviously that's how you found the process and stuff, and you found the support and um the kind of process okay. But would you recommend it to others?
Oh, totally.
Like,
Absolutely. I
probably
I
wouldn't ask you that question if I thought you'd say no.
no, but the thing I found really valuable, A, knowing that you and the rest of the team are there if I need help and have specific questions, but also the community that you're building up.
Mm,
And, via the school platform, knowing that there are other people out there in the same situation as me. They might be, further on in their journey, or they might have just more recently started. But we're all pretty much individual working on our own in our own offices, wherever. And
yeah,
actually the support that comes from going through it with other people, is absolutely tremendous. It
yeah,
really is.
yeah. I think that's one of the main things that people do get value from is just having that, just a kind of sounding board in a lot of ways, and having that support from people, like say in the industry. Even I get a lot from it. Some like weeks I won't leave these bloody four walls, so it's nice to have that interaction with others.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
that we're, like you say, that we're all in the same boat. Um, but
Exactly.
yeah,
I'm not always very good at things like attending the Tuesday night calls, mainly because it clashes with Pilates, which,
yeah,
but and I'm sure there is more that I can be doing. Um, but it's sort of scalable. It's as much, if I want to do more, I just give more attention to the process and tweak the various steps and so on. But I did a bit over Christmas, and that's just brought immediate responses. There's an immediate uptick in connections. I've just changed the connection campaign a bit, So
yeah,
the support is all there, the framework is all there, and really you get out what you put into it. If you just
exactly.
go into it wholeheartedly, then yeah, been fantastic.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's like anything in life. The more you put into it, I think the more you get out. If you,
Yeah,
this is what I say to people on calls. They say, does it work?" It's like, if it does or it doesn't, depending on your input.
absolutely.
And you've kind of, you've got some business out of it, I think, from what you said previous, haven't
I
you?
have, yeah. And in fact, I've just had more inquiries this week as well. So the nature of my clients mean that it's not always straightforward. They're not vanilla mortgage cases. Uh, but I've got some good business out of it so far. And I've no doubt that 2024, particularly with the rate cuts we're seeing this week, there's going to be a lot more activity.
Yeah. So it's changing fast, this mortgage industry, isn't it? And you need to be
Yeah,
active and doing things. Yeah, and hopefully this year will be a lot different from last year, but
absolutely.
we will see. But yeah, no, I appreciate your time, Amanda. That's about all the questions
Pleasure.
I've got on it. But yeah, just for anyone listening, if you want to know more about what we do, just send me a message and we can chat, see if what we do would be a good fit for you. But yeah, Amanda, very much appreciate that.
You'll send me that letter later.
Yeah, well, it'll only be a fiver actually, but
All right then.
but yeah, no, much appreciated.